What's going on, guys, and welcome to Beta Memoirs. Today's been quite an interesting day. Stimulus got approved overnight, so we had a nice little gap up. As I mentioned yesterday in the video, we had gap down and then only to come screeching back up nonetheless. Again, the House it is only 8:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right now. The House just approved a $2,000 stimulus check, although it still needs to pass the Senate. So that's why we're getting some movement up after the bell today. With that being said, it doesn't look like they're going to approve it. So that might be quite interesting. So if they don't approve it, I could see us actually coming back down quite a bit. So I think the move right now is fine and dandy. But being said, I think, I think we might come right back down to earth. But also being said, it is the end of the month, so we're expecting selling. So I was expecting selling this morning, even though Tesla had gapped up this morning. I was definitely expecting a pullback today after that gap up, and such. We did see that. Even towards the end of the day, I guess there was some news about California closing down for the virus stuff as well. So that being said, I know Airbnb played fantastic for me. I did tremendously well. I'll actually get into that here in a second. I'll pull up the charts and everything. Just trying to give everybody the news highlights here and everything. But towards the end of the day, we had lockdowns, I think, in California. So we started selling off a little bit, although the fear is not there anymore. The VIX is still down to normal levels, and it maintained it well. So I think that all the virus stuff everybody's digested that. So I don't expect some big crash like everybody's talking about, especially with the stimulus and everything. I think we've still got quite a ride to go before we do come down or have some kind of correction. I think there will be another crash, but I think there will be a correction in our foreseeable future. But again, there's always the black swan, so just be wary of the black swan. That being said, let's go ahead and pull up the chart today. Let's see what I got here. So today, as you can see, the SPY, it had one heck of the wicks are always that way on SPY nonetheless, but we did have a little bit of pullback on SPY. I was more, like I said yesterday, I was more coming into this week looking at Tesla and Airbnb have been my primary plays. I also had Facebook and BYND. I know I was watching CRM today as well, but that kind of just sold off and just kind of hung. So I think yesterday I was looking for that 220 mark, and they would just kind of hung around that 224 mark. So with that being said, let's go ahead and bring up good old Tesla. And if you're going to follow me at all, you know I'm a huge Tesla fan. I love trading Tesla. I love swinging it, option shares, the whole shebang. That's what we like to do here. Well, with Tesla, as you saw, as I explained, I mean, it gapped up overnight on the news. And again, I was expecting it to push a little bit more, but it was stalling out pretty good here at the 681 today. And now it just pretty much sold off all day. I didn't play Tesla at all. I'm still holding shares in Tesla. I'm wanting it to try to reattempt to hit the 7, especially with the stimulus news. I know they had some. There were rumors going around today. I don't know if it was true about the Gigafactory in India. I know that's going to be huge, especially with the compact car and stuff. When that information comes out. With that being said, though, trying to stay in the current time period here, the Tesla was selling off today. It's definitely losing momentum. But one thing I do like about Tesla, again, I hit resistance here and came back down. I got rejected pretty hard up here. But one thing I did notice about Tesla on the daily, is it looks like it wants to. I know I got so many different zones here, so it's kind of hard to see this, but it almost looks like it's getting ready to have a ascending wedge here again. I mean, I hate to draw these out because typically I don't play them. If there's consolidation, I like to play the consolidation a lot, but let me see. The tools here on TOS are phenomenal. Yeah, this is kind of it's pretty much a channel on the daily, and that's what I was kind of seeing on the daily. Was yes, there's a bit of a channel, so ascending wedge channel. And so that's why I'm still thinking we're still going to push above this. Attempt that 700 is a possibility. 730. I could see 730. I think with all the stimulus stuff, and I think we're having a delayed Christmas rally here. I think we still attempt to go for the 730 at some point here before we get any kind of correction back to the downside and get some consolidation again. Again, once it pushes at that 700, my stop is going to be right underneath there. That's what I'm expecting for it to be. So if it attempts to try to hit that, I think 730 would be a possibility. My thing is if it breaks that high, which is at the 695. Tesla likes to run at least $50 after it breaks a new high, so so that's something to keep in mind too. Tesla likes to run when it breaks those new highs. So, though I think it's really getting up there. That being said, I mean I've always said that about Tesla. Tesla is always getting up there, but Tesla's just a different beast. So, I think 730 is a possibility. How soon that is, I'm not sure. We're sitting at a good support here, so we could have it come down a little bit to the 653. 649 level. I could hold here and then bounce back up. We'll see. I mean, right now with my shares, I'm not too concerned about it. I'm still, I took the swing again a while back, so I still see some kind of leg up here, especially with all the stimulus stuff. I still feel like there's another leg left on there. QQQ. It's still pushing up again. All stimulus news. I mean, with the way everything's going, the numbers that are coming out and stimulus, I think we're going to see a nice push up. I would say probably well into January. That would be my guess. Again, it's a guess, and just to be aware of that. Oh yeah, I should probably put this on too. Hold on one second. I need to be better with this. There we go. Yes, this is for educational purposes only. FYI for all people out there. Take sole responsibility for your decisions, do your due diligence and all this. I am just some random guy on the YouTube. Okay, so anyway, that being said, now that we got everything on, now that we're cooking here. Airbnb. I actually played Airbnb. I think it was my major one today. I played it really well. Once it actually, we'll be on the hourly. Once we had that dip in the morning, I hit that 257. I waited for it to come back over the 50 and the 20 moving average here. It started gaining a lot of momentum. A lot of the stocks just started bouncing. The individual stocks started bouncing. So I entered around the 158 mark here, and it pushed. I want to say I got out around the 162 mark today. I didn't take it all the way to the top. I exited about the 162 mark, and then I continued to watch it. I was watching for pullbacks. It didn't work. Obviously, it took a while. And the next hourly candle. I do play everything on hourly. I do check the daily, weekly, and stuff when need be. When I go on bigger swings, like my Tesla swing. Or if I know there's going to be momentum there, if there's news or something driving it, then I will go that way. But as far as Airbnb, I looked for the scalp today. I got the scalp, and then I was looking for a re-entry. And as you can see here, this trend line, I was looking for a bounce off this trend line. It came way down, didn't hit that 150 like I was waiting for this morning. It started popping back up, started getting close to that 200. And so I did enter here at the 152, but I entered leaps, option leaps. And then I was up at one point, and then it came all the way back down to the zone here. This here, though, is a strong support. Just as long as it doesn't break this 147 mark. As long as it doesn't break this, again, I am in leaps. So my contract, I think, expires in January of 2022. And it's far out. I'm actually expecting Airbnb, especially with the stimulus news and the vaccines and everything. As you can see, with even the news and the vaccine stuff coming out, like we're not dramatically falling like we did back in March. People are comfortable with the vaccine stuff. It's a normal thing now, so we're not going to see such a dramatic move, in my opinion. And so with all this more stimulus getting injected, with Biden coming on the horn and saying today that he's going to have another third stimulus check, I think this year we're really going to explode. So even a correction, I think towards the end of January is what I'm looking at. I think a correction towards the end of January, I think will happen, but I don't think it will be some massive crash. I don't think that's going to happen. I know people like to throw it out there, and that's all I see on YouTube is massive crash. I think there will be some kind of correction. I don't think there will be a crash. I think crashes normally tend to take a while to build up. We had a major historical crash just in March, so expecting two back-to-back. I think it needs to build up again before that happens. Nonetheless, so Airbnb, I'm expecting it to actually run. I don't remember what my strike price was on Airbnb. It was pretty far out there. But again, it was a leap, and I was expecting a lot of growth in Airbnb, especially with recovery once the vaccines started getting administered and we start going back to the new normal. I think this will start to really run. And I know people are sitting on a bunch of money and they want to get out. I know just like mental health wise, right? Like people just want to get out. They want to not be sitting at home anymore. So as soon as those floodgates open, I think Airbnb is just going to explode. So that's why I have that leap there. Again, I'll probably, depending on how we open up tomorrow. I mean, if we start gapping and running, I'll end up selling that leap. If we do sell off, I do plan on still holding that leap. I might layer my leaps if it hits down to this 121 mark. That's one heck of a drop though, but I have to see. I'll have to play that by ear, but I'm trying to watch this support here and make sure it doesn't break. Apple still beast mode. It is. I mean, it's Apple. I mean, they're coming out with a car, so I guess that's hype news. I completely ignored Apple today. As I said, I've been more focused on Tesla. I like trading Tesla, and I'm very comfortable with Tesla. And Airbnb is just one of those stocks that it's got a similar feel for me like Tesla does. So that's why I like to trade Airbnb. Although I know it just IPO'd like 2 or 3 weeks ago now. So I didn't really keep an eye on Apple. I did make a play on Apple last week. Another scalp play on Apple last week. Facebook I did play today. It worked out perfectly. It hit the support, and I got in right here on the bottom. Although I had a tight stop on this one because I didn't want it to break. It did push up, but then I actually cut before this huge move, so I missed out on a huge move today. But I captured this bottom portion. I got out about 268. I captured about a $2 move on that, and then it just continued to go. Now, Facebook has always been kind of iffy sometimes with me, so I don't stay in it very long, especially when it comes to any kind of scalping position. TDOC I talked about today, or yesterday I talked about TDOC, and my reasoning for that being ARK Invest. If you guys follow ARK Invest, Kathy Wood, they've been placing a lot of different buys in on TDOC. And my price point on TDOC, today was 200. So I took a small position at 200. Now this was a purely shares position. I'm looking for a longer swing on TDOC. I'm hoping that TDOC can actually, with everything that's going on and then continued, it's essentially leading the way in online medical, as an online medical resource. So for doing like your appointments and stuff online. So ultimately, what I'm looking at here is I drew the support in here, but in my mind, there's not really. It's kind of more like a speed bump and not a support, but it held here. I got in at 200, and I'm actually looking if it comes back down and hits that 190 mark. I'll definitely be adding a lot heavier at 190. But this is purely shares. I'm looking to swing this perhaps for a couple months. It's not a huge position, but it's a big enough position, especially if this stock really gets carried away and makes a run for 300. That's kind of what I'm looking at. But I'll play that by ear. So at least trying to get it back up to that 211 mark. I'll try to capture $11 move, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So not too heavy on that. Just one of the random positions. Cost was a good one today. Actually exploded. Actually, if it breaks out here over this 371, I think we can actually run up here to probably 378 on cost. So cost is good. I don't play cost as much as I want to. I see it a lot of times and it's set up, and normally I'm distracted by a bunch of other different stocks, or I play a lot of the same stocks because I like being familiar with the same stocks. Cost, though, has always been one of those ones I wanted to play, and I keep missing out on it, especially when it hits these major supports like this. A lot of the stocks I don't typically play, I always watch for the major support. So if it hits a major support, then I'll normally take like a leap at that point, just so I don't get burned by the premiums and kind of just let it ride out. NVDA, this is actually one too I wanted to bring up. It is hitting a pretty solid support here actually, and that's what I liked about NVDA. Yeah, 20. As you can see, it's a pretty solid support right here. And so I didn't catch this earlier today. I was looking at the chips the other day, but if it dips back down into here, I'll actually take a position in here in NVIDIA, because I know NVIDIA is also a big runner. It's at least a $40 move. This would probably be one. If it dips down in here, I'll probably take like a leap on this, and then aim for probably a 545 strike price or something like that. That's what I'm looking at for NVIDIA. BYND, man, I tell you what, it was playing range for so well. It was playing this range so well, and then it broke today off of some news. Some analyst said that meatless products weren't, or because the pandemic was ending or something like that, the meatless products and stuff were gonna go away, or so I don't know what it was exactly, but it was some, in my mind, it was just some BS, and we just sold off today. I'm still holding shares in this. I did add on a little bit at the 128 mark. I did add a little bit here. Again, this position up, my original position was up here at 136, so just averaging down a little bit. I do expect this to explode back up. Again, because I think the company in itself, right, they promote their products extremely well, and just that niche, I think in itself is a big niche. The whole plant-based niche and the trend with that right now, and so I'm not assuming, but in my mind, I can see this exploding back up, especially when earnings start coming back up. Making another big run, at least to probably the 160. I think I mean, this is even in a good range right here. You can see it's coming out. We got solid support at 122. So I'm not really concerned about this. If it goes down to 122, I would even add more there. That 120 mark has always been pretty solid. I've taken a couple of different plays throughout here and here. I actually captured this move previously, this 122 mark. And so, yeah, if it dips back down to 122, I'll add more to that position. Again, this is shares position. I don't like holding contract or options on BYND. The premium or the theta on this just burns like crazy. When it originally had option contracts, it wasn't as bad, but when it first, when it first IPO'd and started having option contracts, it didn't burn as bad. But now they burn like crazy. CRM, again, I was watching this one. I was hoping it would come down to this 120 mark, but it never did. Again, so it is what it is. I'm still watching this. I mean, this isn't one of my favorite ones. I did take a leap down here at the 120 mark, and I captured a solid majority of this. I think I captured up to 228 on the leap, and I was in shares on this one. Amazon exploded today. I talked about this yesterday about how I wanted to wait for it to come down, and they just exploded. So now I guess e-commerce is on its game again. So we'll see how that goes. I don't like chasing Amazon because I know it can has a lot of wicks. So I kind of, unless it's at a solid support like right here, at this 30.93 mark is typically where I'll take a position if it's at a solid support. Snow here. This is actually, I wanted to bring this one up because it actually is coming down, I think, to a solid support. And this thing can run. Although the option contracts on this aren't good either. That's what I'm starting to figure. So I'm debating on taking a shares position. But, I mean, I still need to get it to 287 before I even consider what kind of play I want to play on that. A lot of these other stocks, I know Shop is at a good support right now too. And I know ARK Invest has actually been, they bought some today as well. As you can see, it hit the support, hit the 200 and is starting to bounce. Now, depending on the 20 and the 50 EMA here, if it can break back through that. But it has hit supply, so I can see us starting to push up from this point. I used to play Shop a lot. At the current time, I haven't really played it. I always like to buy Shop if it goes under 1,000. That's like a given. If it goes under 1,000, like I'm buying it. That's always my game plan. So anytime Shop ever goes under 1,000, either buy shares or buy leaps on Shop, even though leaps are extremely expensive on on Shop. Other chips, AMD has some good consolidation. I've been looking at this too. Was kind of hoping it would come down to this 190 mark, 190 or 90.80 cents. If it comes down to this mark, I've been thinking about getting, because my favorite plays are these consolidation. I look for these consolidation plays, and I try to be as patient as I can. Breakouts and stuff, I don't really like breakouts only because unless it's already broken out, I don't like taking a position because there have been way many times that I've been buying in a position and then it breaks out and then slams back down and then breaks the whole pattern and sells off. So I don't like to mess with those breakouts. I like the consolidation better, and then try to capture it when it does break out of the consolidation because you get bigger. I think you get bigger pushes out of it. With that being said, I think that's all I had. I know. Jump back here. With that being said, I think that's pretty much all I have. I have looking at the ARK Invest stuff today. Yeah, ARK Invest had a couple different buys on Shop today. I'm trying to think if there was any bigger buys that they had. I know they bought some stuff on Nintendo, so I don't know if Nintendo, one of the bigger positions was BEKE. Here, let me bring this back up again. BEKE. ARK Invest bought some of this today. There's some nice consolidation on this. I don't even know what this company does, to be honest. Fundamentals, earnings. I don't know. That's something I got to dive into more. But sorry, I'm just kind of looking over what ARK Invest came out with today. They started selling. Oh, that was another one. Oh, pins is another one too. Although ARK Invest is selling pins and Proto Labs, which is a 3D printing 3D printing company, which I like the 3D printing company, Proto Lab, because they have a lot of, where's that one at? Be on LD, that one's actually gone way up, Snap. I think a lot of these other ones are pulling back. Oh, here's Proto Lab right here. Yeah, I like this one because they have a lot of, I can't even think of the term now, but they have a lot of patents. That's what I was looking for. They hold a lot of patents in the 3D space, 3D printing space. That's why I like this. I've actually held this a couple of different times because as you can see, it has some pretty huge tears in it. And if it came down to 157, where's 157 at? And there's even a solid support here at 163. I don't know about how solid, but yeah, you got two different supports here. I mean, I'll actually get rid of that line. So I would be more comfortable waiting for this to come down to the 157 mark, because you also got the 200 moving average right here. I can see this actually pushing up 172 and then slamming back down to 155. If it does get down to 155, though, I'll actually put an alert there. If it gets down to that level, I'll definitely buy back into that. For this one, I normally hold leaps for this as well too. Lemonade made me mad. I had it at 46 and I sold it at 65 on the second push up, and then it tore up. It's all good. It happens. Can't win them all. Pins is the other one I'm looking at. I'm actually debating on what there's a support here at 66. And I do want to get back in pins. I like pins just because of the possibilities that it has. I think it can really, as far as like competition for like Etsy and Shop and all them, I think it can really, being a social platform and introducing shops and stuff like that, I think it can really, really cause some damage in that space. Again, for me, like even with these supports, like I know there's this support here, but I typically like, I'll play these supports for like quick scalps or something, but I want it, if it comes down, I want it to come down a second support. I find that's where I start loading the boat heavy, is if it gets down to that second support, because you get bigger bounces, and a lot of times it reverses around that period too. So I think that is, again, pretty much what I have. Tomorrow, again, I'm watching Tesla, Airbnb, Facebook. I look for Facebook continuation, TDoc, It looks like it's already starting to push up. I just don't want it to hit these EMAs and push back down. That's typically what happens. But we'll see. With the stimulus stuff, it might just start pushing up. So I'll be watching TDOC pretty closely. NVDA also, I'll be watching this. If it dips back in the zone and holds, I'll definitely be getting in this tomorrow. BYND, I think we're going to recover by morning. I think we'll see this probably back up at 134 tomorrow. Amazon, I'm sure there'll probably be another continuation of Amazon tomorrow. I'm not really playing Amazon at the moment. Snow, that's debatable. So yeah, I think it's just going to be Tesla, Airbnb, possibly even Apple tomorrow. It's already been running a lot. And it's almost at the all-time high here. So I don't know if if it breaks out over this, I might look at it. I think it might just get rejected. It might actually run. I don't know. The whole stimulus, you got so much money getting injected into the economy that Facebook, again, I think is a big one I'll be watching tomorrow. So Tesla, Airbnb, Apple, and Facebook, and TDOC, as well as NVIDIA tomorrow. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to subscribe and like the video so I can get the message out. Remember, this is purely educational purposes only. All right, y'all. Have a good one, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Later.